Tonight by taking on the Lakers, followed by a game with the Clippers on Thursday night. The Spurs opened their West Coast swing by losing at the Portland Trailblazers 147-127 for their second straight loss. As seems to be the norm now in the NBA, teams don't get a lot of practice time during the regular season, which hurts a young squad like the Spurs.
No, I mean, everybody has that same problem, though. It's not just us. It's hard, but with the young guys, practices would be very valuable, that's for sure.
Spurs will play at the Lakers tonight at 9:30 local time. Romeo Langford for the Spurs is questionable with left adductor tightness, which are muscles on your inner thighs. The Los Angeles Clippers routed the Lakers last night 133-115. LAC led from start to finish and by as many as 23 points. Paul George led the Clips with 27. Kawhi was next in line with 25, and LAC made 19 of 38 three-point attempts. Now the Lakers were led by LeBron James, who scored 46 points, hitting 9 of the Lakers' 16 three-pointers. After the game, Lakers guard Russell Westbrook got snippy with the reporter when he was asked about a turnover.
Where did you and Dennis get crossed up on that inbounds play? And we kind of saw you guys kind of arguing about it on the bench after, presumably about that. What was the discussion about trying to get that right moving forwards?
What do you mean crossed up? What do you mean? How were we crossed up?
You were trying to get the ball in bounds.
How was that a cross up?
I assume you weren't trying. There wasn't a turnover. Wasn't the goal of the play. I'm wondering what the goal of the play was.
What was the cross up then? You said it was a cross up. So what's the cross up?
I'm asking you.
No, you said it. You said there was a cross up on that play.
Did you guys get crossed up on that play?
No. It wasn't. It's a five-man play. It wasn't between me and Dennis.
Okay. What went wrong on the inbounds play? And did you feel that?
Turnover.
Did you feel that swung momentum at all?
No.
The Lakers had 7 turnovers last night compared to 15 for the Clippers. Marcus Carr and the 10th-ranked Texas Longhorns topped Oklahoma State last night 89-75. Carr scored 21 points to go with 5 assists and 3 steals. Brock Cunningham pumped in a career-high 15 points to help the Horns earn a regular season sweep of the Cowboys. Brock is known more for his defense, so his career night offensively certainly helped out. And he says this game is all about UT being tough.
It was the entire game. This whole week the prep coming into this game was about it being a toughness game, and the team responded and really understood that message and took it to the game.
They're a great defensive team and a physical team and a team that, can get hot and shoot the ball well. They ended up, making 8 threes. So, we didn't want to give them that many, but we were able to tighten up in other defensive areas. So we were still able to come out with the win. But we knew that, they wanted to be aggressive, get downhill, and look for their shooters. And we just tried to take that away.
Elsewhere last night, number 11 TCU beat Oklahoma at 79-52. Mike Miles Jr. had 23 points, while Damian Baugh and PB each added 13 for TCU, which had a key follow-up to their 23-point win. Then number 2 Kansas just 3 days earlier. TCU is now 16-4 overall and 5-3 in the Big 12.
The good news is we never get crossed up.
We don't get crossed up.
When we pass it across the room, it's like smooth.
Oh, yeah.
It's never an interception.
It's like butter, all smooth.
Never a turnover.
Never a turnover. Skimming crimes on the rise. And experts warn it's not only happening at gas stations. How to spot these bad devices in the next half hour.
And as the CDC continues monitoring COVID-19, their next step might involve testing wastewater from airplanes. How that could help in the fight to keep the virus under control.
How'd you sleep last night? If the answer is like mine, not quite so good, listen up. The problem could be an easy fix. Consumer reporter Marilyn Moritz has a checklist to get a great night's rest. It's a 12 on your side tip sheet, and it's today at 5. The man who police say killed 7 people and seriously injured another at 2 different farms in California now facing a judge for the first time today.
ABC's Rena Roy tells us the shooter knew the victims, and this comes as the investigations continue into other shootings in Monterey Park, Oakland, and Yakima, Washington.
It's the deadliest shooting in San Mateo County history, and now we're learning more about why authorities think it may have happened.
All the evidence we have right now points to a workplace violence incident.
Police say alleged gunman Chun-Li Zhao opened fire at 2 farms in Half Moon Bay, California Monday evening, killing 7 and injuring another. They believe his victims were also his co-workers.
They were killed with purpose, with intent, execution style. And this community, California, and the country is reeling from it.
Servando Martinez says his 50-year-old brother, Marciano Martinez Jimenez, was killed in the attack. He says he was a good person and good co-worker who was an admired supervisor, and that the loss has left the family broken. Our ABC station KGO learning from court documents the suspect allegedly showed hostile behavior to co-workers in the past. The suspect's former roommate, who was also a co-worker, granted a pair of restraining orders after telling police Zhao threatened to kill him in 2013. This comes after 11 people were killed over the weekend in Monterey Park at a dance studio during a Lunar New Year celebration. Plus, in Washington state, 3 people were killed at a gas station. Authorities say the suspected gunman died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
And this recent string of mass shootings has elected officials once again making renewed calls for gun control in this country, with both the White House and California Governor Gavin Newsom demanding change. Rena Roy, ABC News, Half Moon Bay, California.
The Southeast now bracing for a brush with the same severe weather system that left this trail of tornado damage across Texas. A massive tornado tore through the Houston metro area overnight. At least 1 person was hurt in Pasadena.
And in nearby Deer Park, that same tornado continued its rampage. Winds toppling several tractor trailers on the beltway around Houston. Look at that. Drivers had to wade through flooded waters to get out of their cars.
And I guess to think that's the same system that came through here yesterday.
Mm-hmm. We got off lucky.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, conditions got significantly worse as you went east to San Antonio. They became ripe for that kind of spin up. And indeed, right along the Texas coast there around Houston, they did see some of those tornadoes yesterday. Thankfully, again, I think everyone is okay after all that damage. In the wake of all that, we're seeing some chilly temperatures here across the state of Texas. 52 here in San Antonio. We range all the way from 63 down there in the valley in Brownsville to 33 with snow on the ground in Amarillo. So quite a change there. I'm still seeing some breezy winds across the states. 44 Waco, 41 right now in Dallas. A little bit of snow north of there as well. And then Houston picking up some of that damage today, sitting at 49. But sunny skies, thankfully, there. And you look at the big picture, yeah, it's cold. Places like Bismarck, 17, 22, Casper, 28, Denver. Warm spot, as it has been all winter. We keep saying this. Florida, Miami, sunny Miami, 81 right now. Let me show you a picture from this morning. Beautiful sunrise. This is from Betty Boop. That is gorgeous. We had several pictures this morning of the beautiful sunrise. A lot of great colors there in the atmosphere. And right now we're looking at those clear skies still. 52 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 33. Northwesterly winds at 15 miles per hour. And the forecast for today, 56 at 2 o'clock, 58, 3 p.m. We're at 59 at 4 p.m. Let me get my numbers right here. And then as we get into tonight, those temperatures fall off quickly. 48 at 8 o'clock and then down into the low 40s by 11 p.m. and midnight, on our way to 30s by tomorrow morning. We do have some more rain chances to talk about, especially as we get into next week. More on that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. The next step in the fight against COVID-19 might be testing airplane waste. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention considering the logistical and the legal aspects of that kind of testing. Hurdles are going to need to be sorted out before the testing could be part of a COVID monitoring program. Some of the agency's partners say they are poised to help roll out this potential next frontier in the nation's COVID surveillance effort. A Boston-based synthetic biology company has been chosen to partner with the CDC's traveler-based genomic surveillance program to detect COVID and flu variants among international travelers. A researcher with the company says sequencing usually takes about 5 to 7 days.
Now to a growing danger as you swipe your credit card. It's called skimming. And according to the FBI, it costs consumers and financial institutions more than $1 billion every year. ABC's Gio Benitez on how it's done and how you can protect yourself.
Watch as a man dressed as a construction worker places what police say is called a skimmer on top of a credit card terminal in a Fresno, California convenience store while his partner works to distract the store employee.
One of them requests assistance from the clerk to go back there and help him out. Meanwhile, the second suspect, in just a matter of seconds, pulls out a skimmer, places it over the point of transaction area.
The skimmer then gathering data from unsuspecting customers who swipe their credit card, feeding the information to the suspects who police say they're still looking for. And in Watsonville, California, watch as another suspect also quickly attaches a skimmer, police later confiscating the device. This suspect was caught and charged with possession and use of a credit card skimmer. He pleaded not guilty. And more cases in D.C. and Oakland where suspects are still at large. The U.S. Secret Service, which safeguards payment systems, says skimming crimes are on the rise.
We're just coming off of a 2-year period where it was okay for bad guys to wear masks to do their crime, and where it became very brazen in that period. So it seemed like activity definitely ramped up the COVID era.
And experts warn it's not only happening inside gas stations.
There's 3 main avenues of skimming that occur inside of our payment ecosystem. We have point of sale overlay terminals, we have gas pump skimming, and we have ATM skimming.
But the Secret Service says overlay terminals, where the criminal puts the device over an existing card reader, are the most common. The device pulling information from the magnetic strip on the back of your credit card.
What's on that magnetic stripe is actually your account information, the CCV number, the expiration date, your name, all those different things.
All right, so how do you protect yourself? Well, a lot of credit cards, they have that tap feature, right? We talked about the magnetic stripe being an issue, so try tapping instead of swiping. That may be a solution there. Also, grab your phone, and you might be able to use that mobile wallet on your phone, something like Apple Pay. That could be something useful. And right here, look at the keypad, right? If you're touching the keypad and it feels loose or something just feels off, just go ahead and move on to the next terminal because something may be wrong with that one. Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Cowboys running back Tony Pollard had surgery on his broken leg yesterday. Larry has his prognosis coming up in a few minutes.
It's nearly rodeo season, and this year we're inviting you to join the fun. And we want you to ride in a wagon with us, featured in the Western Heritage Parade. If you want to come along for the ride, you can enter the sweepstakes. We're here like 600 people are in it already. All right, your chance to win. All you got to do is scan the QR code on your screen. It is free to enter and exclusively for members of KSAT's Insiders, which is free to join. Today's your last day to enter. Here you go. The Western Heritage Parade scheduled for Saturday, February 4th. And the weather is going to be
just like this, we hope. That's what we're hoping for.
A little warmer than this.
Okay. We know changes are on the way, though. Justin Horn's got that for us. Coming up, you're watching KSAT12 News at noon.
Welcome back. I want to show you a graph here. We haven't talked about the Aquifer in a long time, but yesterday we got some rain. Some of it over the recharge zone. Not enough. The Aquifer did not take a big jump today. It's at 636.7. So what you're looking at here is the graph since March of last year. Once we got into summer of last year, the Aquifer just fell like a rock. And then we basically, through the summer and through the end of the year and even into this year, just stayed pretty steady, but at a low number. That's well below the average. This yellow line here represents the historical average of the Aquifer, and our 10-day average is 636.3. So we're still in stage 2 watering. That hasn't changed, and they're still watching that sort of thing. SAS is. So just heads up, we need a lot more rain to get the Aquifer back to where it needs to be. Now we know that it can take just one big rainstorm and that can happen, but that is not in the forecast, at least for right now. As we go outside for you, beautiful, beautiful day, albeit a little chilly, at least right now. 52 degrees at the airport, 54 Stinson, 53 Kelly, and 52 at Randolph. We've got northwesterly winds anywhere from 5 to 15, but they're gusting a little bit higher than that in spots. Some gusts up around 20 miles per hour. Across the state with some snow on the ground, it's in the 30s in Lubbock and Amarillo, 35, 33 there. 42 Tyler, 49 in Houston, 58 Corpus Christi, and then warm spots down there in Brownsville where it's 63 degrees. Here's our KSAT 12-hour forecast: 56 at 2 o'clock, 58 3 p.m. We top out at 59 today, and then back down into the 40s tonight, 41 by 11 o'clock, and eventually 30s by tomorrow morning. I think some of us could be down near freezing by tomorrow morning, including here in San Antonio. We're forecasting 34, but some of the outlying areas certainly could. This is a storm system that came through yesterday, still wreaking havoc across the country. A lot of snow on the north side of it. So New York City getting a few flakes, but New York, Buffalo, Toronto, Detroit, Chicago, Indianapolis all got in on snow this morning. Starting to wind down a little bit, but then there's rain that extends south, some stronger storms there. But I want to take you out west. Remember, California has been inundated with rain. It's clear now, very, very quiet. So we're getting a break, and there's nothing really here that jumps off the page, right? What could possibly move towards Texas and give us some more rain? Well, there are some disturbances that will eventually roll through, and I think that probably arrives, at least some of it, by the weekend. We're going to start to pull in some moisture. So a little bit of lift Saturday, and I think with that influx of moisture, we'll see some fog, some drizzle, and then maybe a couple showers. It won't be a rain out on Saturday. Don't cancel your plans, but it could be a little bit damp, especially in the morning with a lot of cloud cover. And then Sunday we clear out a little bit. Next week's what I want to watch, though, because further down the line, maybe Wednesday of next week, we'll get some stronger disturbances moving in here, and that may result in some better rain chances. In the short term, today, tomorrow, quiet. I want to fast forward to Friday. This is 7 a.m. We start off partly cloudy, but then by the afternoon, clouds start to surge in. It goes cloudy by Friday afternoon, and I mentioned Saturday, probably cloudy most of the day, some morning drizzle and overall dampness, and then maybe a few showers in the afternoon. Rain chances are low. Any accumulation would be really light, but there could be some of that going on. And I mentioned rain chances down the line. Wednesday is a day I'd like to watch. It looks like we could get some better rain chances coming in there once we get the models kind of in line with each other. But that's the hope. 58 tomorrow, 58 Friday, mostly cloudy. There's the cloudy day Saturday, 70 on Sunday, and some more chances coming up next week. We'll be right back.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard underwent surgery to repair his fractured fibula in his left leg after suffering the injury late in the first half in the Cowboys' 19-12 loss to the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional round. That's after he was dragged down by the Niners' Jimmy Woods, and you can just see it snap. The procedure performed yesterday is called a tightrope surgery that other stars such as Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts underwent from, and they recovered from. Now, recovery is expected to take him some 3 months. Now, the Houston Texans are interviewing Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka for the second time. This after the Texans fired Lovie Smith following one season, and they've now interviewed 8 coaches about replacing him. Kafka was responsible for turning around the Giants' offense this season that put them in the playoffs, only to be eliminated by the Eagles in the NFC divisional playoffs. San Francisco 49ers rookie offensive lineman Spencer Burford is having a great season. Spencer helped San Francisco beat Dallas in the divisional round, and he earned some high marks in the process. Per PFF, Burford earned a 78.5 overall grade, a season high for the Rook. For his 32 snaps at the right guard position, he allowed just 1 pressure in his 15 pass blocking snaps. Now, Saturday afternoon, we talked with Spencer about his diet and workout routine because he's clearly bigger than ever before.
Like I said, I eat steak and greens, baby. Potatoes, I don't eat too much. You know, once you, like they tell you in the off season, make sure that you get in a routine. Okay. You know, so that's what I really been focused on in the off seasons for sure, was to make sure that I have the routine that I need in order to be successful throughout the season. So I've just been sticking with the same routines, eating the same thing almost every day. I mean, you switch it up every now and then, you get a few cheat days, but you got to treat your body like a machine at this level, especially with this lengthy season. So this is one of the longest seasons I've ever played in my life. So I'm just making sure I take everything in cohesive, make sure everything is lined up in order to be successful.
Burford and the 49ers will play at the Eagles Sunday for the NFC Championship. College football tight end Connor Fox recently committed to Texas State after 4 great seasons at Kansas State. We recently caught up with Connor at Lifetime Fitness while he was working out with Wyoming wide receiver Chase Locke and local trainer Coach Calvin. Fox entered the transfer portal because he wanted a better opportunity to get on the playing field to get more tape with the dream of playing at the next level. But before he left, K-State upset TCU to win the Big 12 championship game.
It's a surreal experience, you know. Our first 3 years, we weren't successful doing that, and that's every team's goal in the Big 12 is to win a championship. And this past year, we brought in some guys to make the team even better than what it was. But it goes back to in January, starting when they all came in. We didn't talk about it. We mentioned it, Big 12 championship, but we didn't talk about it after that. We just put our head down and work. Every opponent that we faced, we knew that we outworked them. And that's part of it. That's what drove us, and that's what was able or allowed us to win the Big 12. So,
the Reagan High School alum has 2 years of college eligibility left.
Quick feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Spencer. I thought we all treated our bodies like the machines that they are. Well, not everybody's done.
Well, we're not quite.
You don't think so? Okay. There's a theme about Wednesday going on down there. You know what it is?
I do.
It's Wednesday.
Yes, it is one of the most popular shows on streaming right now.
Yeah, people watch it again and again and again. And then, of course, that dance video has gone viral. So we have got Crystal Diaz from Dance Vita here to teach us the dance. You saw it and you learned it. What'd you think?
Definitely different from what I'm used to.
Okay.
My advice, loosen up. We're just
Loosen
going to
up.
loosening up
now.
Okay. She's going to lend us a hand in learning that dance.
But you know who's ahead of the game as far as some cakes? Justin Dominguez from Justin Cakes.
All right. Looks like somebody lended you a hand making this cake.
Yeah, it's made out of modeling chocolate. I'm going to show you guys how to make little versions of it.
What is modeling chocolate?
It's like an edible Play-Doh.
Oh, it takes us back to second grade.
And wait till you see the back of this cake, okay? We'll reveal that.
And who wore it better, Fiona or Nina here from Stella Public House? She has made some wonderful cocktails just for Wednesday. Can't wait to taste that.
And Jen is out there live. Cheers.
Or not.
There's just a few days left for Winter Restaurant Week, and we are at one of the local favorite restaurants on the northwest side of town. We're getting a taste of the menu. I'm not going to tell you exactly where we're at. You may know with the logo behind me, but I'll give you a hint. We're making oysters today.